For anyone who loves endurance motor racing, there's little to match the 750 Motor Club's event. This year is the 62nd running of the Birkett Relay, where because of the handicap system, which awards extra laps to lower-powered cars, a Fiesta can take on a Jaguar over the 6 hours. RAF Flywheel had just one team in the competition this year, a sign of the times and operational commitments. The start couldn't have been worse for them. Bill Brown's Peugeot 205 GTI caught in a pile-up on the crowded grid, one of 9 cars that never saw the first bend after a radical had stalled at the flag. Bill okay, but disappointed.
I hurt me back a bit, just with the seat hitting it. Yes, everybody seems to be all right. But yeah, lots of cars around at the time. It was.
But at the restart, Darren Berris, starting from the pit lane in his Westfield V8, was on fire, literally flying through the field. With one car down so early, Team Flywheel needed plenty of laps down, and the RAF team's captain provided just that. By the time he handed over to Darren Howe, a consistent performer over the years, Team Flywheel led the race on handicap. And Howie's Golf GTI kept piling on the laps round Silverstone's Grand Prix course until he was called in by the stewards, who thought he was spilling fuel. In fact, it wasn't his car at all, but that's motorsport. Chris Slater and another Peugeot replaced him for another successful stint to keep Team Flywheel in contention among the Porsches, Caterham 7s and Hillman Imps.
We seem to have had a good consistent pace. The drivers are all holding up to the pace that they're required to do, so looking forward to seeing how we fare for the rest of the day.
Well, down here in the pit lane it's always busy, of course, and by my reckoning we're just over halfway through this year's race. RAF Team Flywheel were leading at one stage. They're back in 26th place at the moment, but a lot can happen in the next 3 hours.
Enter then one of the RAF's great masters of this event, Billy Fletcher in his Hornet Mark IV powered by a motorcycle engine. Billy, now a civilian working with the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, was determined to add another chapter to Flywheel's glowing story here as Silverstone absorbed a heavy shower. RAF personnel were in other teams as well, like Steve Platt's, whose Singer Chamois more than held its own. Going into the final hour, any one of 12 teams could have won it. It was down to Ed Fuller in his Tiger Super 8 to carry the last leg for the RAF, which he did very successfully. At the end, no one knew who'd won until the total number of laps had been calculated. Half an hour later...
But you came 63rd from the bottom, which means you won.
We've kind of ebbed and flowed throughout the whole afternoon, and it's been nip and tuck. A couple of times we were second, and then someone said that we might have been outside the top 6, and no, now we're there. We've done it again, so we won the handicap race. Very pleased.
And so for the third time in 8 years, an RAF team had come out on top at the Holly Birkett race. A fantastic achievement for a dedicated band of servicemen and women. John Knighton, Forces News, Silverstone.